to a team that is finally back in the playoffs. The Seattle Mariners are going to the playoffs for the first time in over 21 years. And they did it in dramatic fashion. Cal Raleigh the other night hits a dramatic walk-off home run to send the Mariners to the playoffs. It was, just as a fan of baseball, a really, really cool moment. The emotion, the passion, the crowd. Dave Sims, who calls the games for the Mariners, doing the play-by-play, he got into it. That guy is incredible. It was just a moment that everybody in Seattle fans have been waiting for a long, long time. The Seattle Mariners playoff drought was old enough to drink legally. And that's how you know it was time for the playoffs to make the playoffs. They needed that to happen. And it did. It is finally happening. I called it at the beginning of this year. One of the things I said in the AL preview show was that the longest playoff drought in the 4 major American sports would come to an end. And it did, and they did it in dramatic fashion. I am so pumped up. So pumped up for these Mariners. And to do it the way they did was really cool. To see the team dance on the field, to see the raw emotion from the players, to see the raw emotion from Scott Service down on the field. This is what it's all about, in my opinion. The crowd stayed packed for an hour after the game. The players celebrated this with the city, with the fans. What you see a lot of times from teams that are used to getting into the playoffs is they get excited, they go down into the locker room, and they celebrate amongst themselves and do a speech and all the champagne pops. That wasn't the case here. They stayed out on the field. Scott Service gave a speech to the crowd. The players themselves were dancing around the field, running around the field, high-fiving fans all around. Everybody was going crazy. And that was why this moment was so special. And I stayed up. I watched the end of that game. I watched the walk-off. One, the Mariners were on the doorstep of making the playoffs. We knew they were going to get in. It was just a matter of when. Over the last week or so, it became a matter of when and how is it going to happen. When the game was tied, heading to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Cal Raleigh came up and hit that ball down the line, there was no doubt in my mind that that ball was going to stay fair and that the Mariners were going to end their playoff drought. They were going to walk off their longest playoff drought in American sports.
It was one of the more magical moments I think that we have watched and witnessed in baseball this year. I mean, obviously the history we've seen with Albert Pujols home run and Aaron Judge home run, but 21 years where fans were not able to celebrate and be a part of a postseason. This video right here really shows you every single person in that stadium is jumping up and down. I'm getting chills right now just talking about it. They are crying. They are smiling. It's moments like these that you remember how important franchises are and these teams are to a city, especially if you've grown up with them and you've been a part of them. I mean, this is something where a parent and a child are experiencing this together for the first time, which is also crazy when you talk about 21 years, the longest playoff drought in sports, American sports history. Like, this was such a huge, magical moment, and it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Okay, this was them. Now they're in the postseason. Now they need to do something about it. But seeing every perspective, from the players dancing in that big circle on the field to the crowd losing their mind like they just played and they just won.
We just showed, but every single picture, you can even see if you zoom in, it's just jubilation everywhere you look.
And
it's incredible.
There should be. They deserved every minute of this moment, every second of this moment. And I hope everyone that was there remembers it, and it just becomes, that's something you're going to remember forever.
Where were you when the drought ended?
Yeah.
That will be a talking point forever. And the guy that caught the walk-off home run that ended the drought,
Yeah.
they brought him down on the field.
Yes.
And there he is. He celebrated with the team down on the field, and that was his first ever Major League Baseball game.
No.
I mean, you have a fan for life.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Like, that's what it's all about. So,
Wow.
as I mentioned earlier, the drought was old enough to drink legally, which is wild. But some other fun facts here. There were 5,273 Blockbuster video locations in operation the last time the Mariners made the playoffs.
I remember Blockbuster. Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. And I believe the last one, which was just like an honorary one, closed down like last year. So there are now 0. Julio Rodriguez was 8 months old the last time they were in the playoffs. In 2001, Ichiro was a rookie. Now they're led by Julio. It's kind of cool there. And last time the Mariners made the playoffs, Albert Pujols, when the year started, didn't have a single home run.
Whoa.
It was his rookie year. So 702 home runs later, the Mariners have ended the drought. They did it. So congratulations to the 2022 Seattle Mariners for ending the long-awaited drought. This team is talented. They are good enough to win in the playoffs. They match up well with teams. But for right now, congratulations just for making it, for ending the drought. A really, really cool story this year. And people will remember this one for a long time.